Hey everybody, it's Jordan and Star and Rosie, and we're here today to talk about the number one. If this is a list of one best money to spend when you move to the UK,
Yep.
and what do you think it might be?
More horse riding equipment.
More horse riding equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how much do you think that costs?
So I got my Equidry coat. I do have three spurs
Was
coming,
Equidry
but it's just,
200 pounds?
yes, but this jacket will last for generations, okay?
Generations. A
Generations. This is
legacy,
a
huh?
generational equestrian jacket. And I've got more spurs coming. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
I am super mad. Star has bought three different spurs, and she swears she's going to return the ones that she doesn't want. But
I just have two more items on the wish list that I haven't told you about.
anyway, this is a perfect example of why you need to prioritize certain monies to go to certain things. Can you think of anything else that would be good?
Oh yeah. Like because there's just I
I
don't
mean, seriously, like what would you spend money on when you like in England? What's the number one thing to you?
the number one thing by far was actually a surprise gift.
Oh, so you're going to give away my number one thing.
Oh, well, the number one thing to me by far is horse stuff, of course.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
gotcha.
because
So
there's
you're
horses
serious. I thought
everywhere.
I thought you were joking,
What
but
else did I come up with?
well, anyway.
Horse show entry fees.
Oh my goodness. So we got this is our second year to get this, but I got something in the mail that we're gonna
Well,
open up together.
yeah.
What's that?
Or yep, I just we got a little surprise story as to how this all
Oh,
started.
yeah, I guess you could tell them how we got the first time.
Yeah.
But anyway, what could be in this white envelope? You probably can't read it from there, but I'm gonna open it up.
We have lots of envelopes to open. How do you say that? How do you pronounce envelope? Envelope?
Well, that's not it.
That's probably very southern, right? What do you think?
It's like a magazine. Though.
Oh yeah, that's not
Okay,
it.
this we messed up. It is not. What is
Your
this?
mom's
Vogue? Vogue
that's
is not the
that's
answer.
not my money. Your mom sends those to Ella every
I'm gonna
month.
continue on.
Your mom from America.
Okay,
That's
this one I
hilarious.
know for sure.
I was not
This
playing.
says Haas, Mr. and Mrs. And I got one too. Why don't you open yours and I'll open mine?
We're not gonna tell them what it is.
No.
Okay, get ready for the big reveal. Okay, I got it. Let me know when you're ready. I got the cool one.
You got the cool one?
Yeah.
Mine says, "Dear supporter, thank you for choosing to pay direct debit." So, okay. Anyway, we can talk about that. We'll talk about the financial part of this.
Yeah, but let's tell them what it is.
You've got it in your hand.
All right. So, what Jordan and I by far agree on, which we never agree on finances in any way whatsoever, but we agree on this. The best use of our money for like family time, leisure time, best way that we think you can spend money in the UK if you have any leftover money for something that just stretches your pound and is worth every single pound is by far the National Trust.
Definitely. So what Star has in her hand right now is the letter that we just got. You want to just show it to them?
I will show it to
It
them.
includes two cards because what we did is
Actually,
we have a family membership to the National Trust, and this is our second year to do it.
This is our renewal, our first renewal.
Yeah, our first renewal. So this year the cost for the National Trust for a family, and we've got a family of four and it works for all of us, is 159 pounds. So that's for 1 year. Now I think, and on my letter that I got, I think we were able to make maybe multiple payments or something like that, but it didn't cost any more. It wasn't like they had finance charges or anything like that. So not only is it super affordable for what you get, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but they also let you make payments on it, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It also comes with this magazine directory. Once you're a member of the National Trust, you get magazines. They give you the latest updates.
Not Vogue.
Dogs are welcome at almost everywhere. Typically, they need to be on the lead, but some places they don't have to be, so it's great. So it's a huge family outing. And then you also get this amazing directory, which I'll show here, and it's the booklet of.
And I forgot
how many places.
There's going to be a link to the National Trust below, so you can click the website right below in the description, and it will also put a little link right here for the National Trust website.
Yeah.
Let's try this. We point. Nope, all the way over here. No, not my nose. There you go.
I'm not good at this part. So should we talk to them about how many National Trust sites there are?
Yeah, definitely.
Or how we got it?
Well, I want to tell them how we got it, but I guess you mentioned that dogs are allowed at most of the National Trust sites and on a lead. But also, it's super important to mention that everywhere we've been has had parking that is also included with the paid membership.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
So that's a huge incentive.
You for sure want to do the paid membership. Now, I don't know how much it is if you just do a one-off, but if you're going to be here for any amount of time, do the paid membership. And like I said, they'll break it down into payments. I can't remember if it was like 4 payments or 12 for me, but I mean, if it ends up being 12 quid a month or something, that's unbelievable value for what you get.
Yeah.
And you're talking about beautiful sites. So, yes. We can show some videos or some photos as we're talking here, but they're magnificent.
Yeah.
And in the United States, I did property development, but more specifically, I kind of refurbished existing buildings. So the buildings that you're looking at here would take so much effort and work to upkeep. Not only the buildings, but the gardens, and then they contain all these historic artifacts that are just wonderfully preserved. The people that work at these places, you can tell, have a passion for the history. Nice. A lot of times they have family members that were involved with the families in question and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to go through, and you can feel like a real sense of pride from the people that maintain the properties.
Yeah, and a lot of the times I know the one we go to the most, it's actually the family still lives there seasonally.
Talking about Charlotte?
Yeah. So
yeah, we've been there a lot, but again, it's an annual membership, so yeah. We've been dozens of times,
so many times,
and it was in our backyard, so it wasn't far, but like it was like our home away from home.
It really was, and it is. I mean, we're not that far from it still.
And there's a coffee shop there too, so like not only can you see all the history and the beautiful gardens, but like you can have a coffee.
And you get a discount at the cafes when you're a member. I think it's like 10%, I want to say. But before we dig in a little bit deeper, I want to talk about how I learned about the National Trust. So our family, we kind of pride ourselves, I don't know if that's the right term exactly, but for being outside of the box thinkers. And so for the first 2.5 months, when I started my PhD and moved here, me and my oldest daughter moved here on our own. So we moved here in September, and then Jordan and Scarlett moved here in December. And we got something in the post one day, and we just showed you the big envelopes, right? And I'm like, what is this, And Ella and I took it inside, and we opened it up, and it was the National Trust, which, as an American, a new American living in the United Kingdom, I had no idea what it was at all. So I called Jordan, and it was a gift that he had surprised us with. And it was one of my most favorite gifts that he's ever given me. I mean, I loved it. And so that's how I learned about the National Trust. And it was so cool because Jordan found out about it in America. And then Charlotte was literally right in our backyard. And we went all the time. Anytime we have friends over from America or elsewhere, we always go to a National Trust site. I mean, always.
Always.
We have picnics all the time.
And we haven't even scratched the surface of how many sites there are. They're all sort of wonderful too. Like I haven't been to any of them that I've been unimpressed by.
And they're all so unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did look up right before we did this video, but there's over 500 National Trust sites.
Yeah.
So Star and I have definitely done less than 10% of the total sites.
Yeah, there's so many we need to go to. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows you how, like Jordan was saying, how nice they are and how much people care, because you certainly feel that at Charlotte, because we have been to Charlotte so many times. I mean, I can't count. That's how many times we've been. And like you said, there's over 500. So I recently went to Upton House, and that's in another video. We went to,
where's the one in Cornwall, that castle? Oh my gosh, it was,
I can't believe that's a National Trust site. It's the one on the island. Super famous castle in Cornwall.
Well, when the tide goes out, you can walk up, and then if the tide comes in, you're stuck. But it was a really cool castle, beautiful.
Yeah, and that was National Trust.
Other than that some people think that King Arthur was real. Do you think King Arthur was a real king?
Yeah.
He really existed?
I mean, I believe in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is King Arthur a legend or a myth, or is he real? I need you guys to tell me.
We then went to his castle. They think they go back and forth, but called Tintagel. That's not a National Trust site, but
that was thinking probably my favorite. Like, that was one of the places where I'm like, if I was like roaming the earth and I was like, I'll put a castle here, that was a beautiful place to put a
Tintagel.
Castle.
Yeah. I watched a documentary when we were in Scotland.
Bakery there too. What was that one?
There's always nice bakeries everywhere we go.
Well, the pasty when we were in Cornwall was so good.
Oh yeah, the Cornish pasty.
I can hardly even have a pasty that's not
in Cornwall. I feel the same way. So, so I think, what's great about these, it's kind of like a museum. The grounds are always just beautiful, and people go for all reasons. And I think, it's fun because the cafe, you can get a little Prosecco in there if you want. Also really good food. And then the houses are open seasonally, because Charlotte in particular, which this is just astounding to me, but the family still resides there, right? So like at Christmas time in particular, they celebrate Christmas there. So it just blows me away when I have the house tour and I'm thinking about the history in this home. There's a gift shop typically at most places. And at Charlotte, there's a book. It's the memoirs of like one of the great grandmothers that lived there. And it's an amazing book. It's one of my most favorite books I've ever read. And every time I walk through the house, I'm just like thinking about this book and all the memories that I've read about here. And then I'm like, the family is still coming here at Christmas time. Like, they are there celebrating, and that just baffles me. And so you saw the National Trust emerge, I think in the 40s, 50s, 60s, because the owners, the system changed, and they really couldn't maintain a lot of these just massive estates in the way that they needed to be maintained. So they created the National Trust. They opened these places up to the public in a sense. And, the families are still involved, but they're sharing these wonderful pieces of history that's so important to them and their heritage.
Yeah, and I mean, again, since it happens to be my background, I can't imagine what it takes to maintain these places.
I can't.
But the value that you're getting for almost no money, and supporting a really great cause is wonderful. So whoever created that system, I think it's wonderful that the family can still enjoy it, but then also that the public can enjoy it, like Star was saying.
Yeah, and I think like just to add, there's many days where Jordan might have to go work, and I have a day off with the girls, and we don't really know what to do, and I'm like, let's go to a National Trust site, and so it's just always at our fingertips.
And whenever you're traveling anywhere, and we drive a lot because we're here to explore, I mean, it's a huge reason why we're here is to see culture and things that we can't see in the United States. You can't see literally, you can't see anything that's older than 300 years in the United States, or even 300 years old. I don't think I've seen anything that's 300 years old. However, here there's everything. The roads are thousands of years old. It's incredible. So it's.
We live near a Roman road, and
I think everybody might here. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe everybody does here,
but basically, wherever we're at, if we're in York, or if we're in Birmingham, or if we're in Cornwall, if we're in
Birmingham,
or Buckingham. Like there's so many different places, and it's wonderful.
Wait, do you mean Buckingham Palace?
Buckinghamshire.
I've never heard of that one.
That's where Buckingham Palace is.
No, Buckingham Palace is in London.
Oh, is it?
It's
not in Buckinghamshire? I thought it would be. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Can you tell who is like the monarch freak here and who isn't at all? Honey, that is like, it's in Buckingham.
Are you sure though?
I'm so sure.
Because it is toward London.
I mean, maybe it's in the Victoria district in London. It's Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you. I'm hoping that there is a site in Buckingham.
Feel free to correct me. I mean, maybe there's something I don't know here, but
well, hopefully there is. There probably is, because there's over 500, and they might bail me out.
Thinking my cheeks hurt from laughing.
They might bail me out from this comment.
That was
I'm
too
gonna look
cute.
while you're talking.
That was too cute. So yeah, I mean, this is a tree, but the landscape, like I said, is beautiful. On some days we don't go in the houses. We just have a picnic. I have this giant picnic blanket and I throw it out, and it's just a great thing to do. And when you prepay and are a member, it's great, because otherwise, Jordan said he really didn't know the cost if you're not a member. I kind of do know the cost, because our sister-in-law was here and she had to pay for it. Which it's still like great cost for what you're getting. But if you live here, just by and far.
I just want to let you know about Stowe Gardens, please.
Yeah.
Which is in Buckinghamshire.
The fact that, like, if you ever want to be on a budget but do some really fun things with the kids, this makes so much sense, because it's a year-long membership. And I mean, really all it costs for me is to drive there. And then if we want something from the cafe, Oh, and then also around the holidays and Easter, they always do like extra activities and all these fun things for the kids, scavenger hunts, just amazing things.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just go on and on and on. That's how much we love it.
We could. So we're making a list of the number one thing to spend money on, but this is definitely the number one. I mean, it's just not even close. Like, it's so much value.
Yeah.
For your money, and it's preserving history. It's like a win.
Yeah.
For everybody.
All the way around.
Yep.
All right. I feel like we summed that up pretty well.
Yeah. So part of our videos for sure are going to be visiting some of these sites and exploring them.
Yeah.
This is about our farm, but it's also a little bit of a travel vlog as well, I suppose. Yeah. So, we look forward to taking you on those journeys too. We'll be in several this year. We've
actually already shared one when I went to Upton House. You weren't with us, but we have one video up already where we went to Upton House, so you can get some insight there.
Cool.
So in the meantime, thanks for tuning in.
Let us know your favorite places, especially places that you might recommend that we go.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. Yeah. We live in Warwickshire.
But we can drive anywhere. Yeah. And we do. We're still American in that sense.
We're so American.
We went on a road trip to Scotland the other day.
People about
and somebody's like, "Why would you take a car?" Like, why would you not take a car? We don't know how to do it any other way. But I'm glad we did take a car, because we got to drive through. What was it, the Lake District?
We went through the Lake District.
It was so pretty.
The Yorkshire Dales is actually.
The Dales, that's what it was.
Which we've been wanting to go to both areas since we got here. So that was so cool and gorgeous and amazing. Yep. And how the landscape changes. So where we live currently, a lot of the fields are outlined by hedges. but in the Dales, it was stone walls. And I just thought that was really interesting,
Yeah, there is something to be said about like the fencing material in different places
Big time.
of England. Like,
that's
you can tell when you're in Cornwall because, well, you can't tell until you wreck into it. But if you were to run into the shrubs in Cornwall, you're in for a treat because there's rock
stone
underneath.
walls. Yeah. And had to do with the weather conditions and the wind and
something,
all that. I can't remember exactly.
But the bushes grow out of. Is it bushes? What am I using the right word?
Hedge.
The hedges
or shrubbery.
I am a shrubber.
Is that an American joke?
No, it's an English one.
Really?
Yeah, but it's
I like
whoever gets it'll get it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
There's are people who chop down the tallest tree in the forest with a herring.
Okay.
She doesn't know.
Nope. I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
I still, by the way, I need to watch the entire seasons of Only Fools and Horses. I know that that's something I'm going to like, and I haven't watched a single episode yet.
You should do that.
All right, everybody. Do we have anything else to say?
No, just thank you so much for all the support. Let us know if you become a member of the National Trust because of what we talked about. Let us know if you have questions.
And definitely let us know places that we need to visit because I guarantee you there's 400 places we haven't yet visited.
There's way more than that probably. And we will go. We tend to show up wherever we're invited, I'd say.
I especially want to know nice places in Buckinghamshire.
Buckingham Palace is not on the National Trust.
All right. I'm sorry.
All right, everyone.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for all the support. Please subscribe. You're helping our family farm, and then we're saving up for YouTube equipment so we can keep going. And the adventure continues. So talk to you soon. Peace out.